Hi everyone. I think that everyone is off to a good start on our car project. You found the car that you're interested in, you decided on a down payment, you found a place to do the financing, you got an insurance quote, then you went in and used the TVM, the time value money calculator, and you were able to calculate your down payment. Now we have to figure out the rest of our car cost. Okay. So if we go down to the next section, it's about maintenance cost. I don't know that we talked about this last week or not, but I'll just mention it briefly. You need to decide how much maintenance that you're going to need for your particular car. If you have a newer car, 1 or 2 years old, and that's what you're going to finance, then your oil changes may still even be under a warranty. But let's say they're not, and you have a regular car, go for 2 or 3 conventional oil changes, and you may get that done every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on what your car asks for. If you have other kind of cars, you may have to have synthetic. I have a a Chevy Traverse, and it gets synthetic oil changes, but I have a Mustang convertible, and it gets conventional oil changes. One's every 3,000 miles, one's every 5. So decide on that, and then decide on maintenance. Newer cars, maybe $50 to $100 a month, or maybe a little more than that. That includes your tires, your batteries. For me this year, it included a transmission rebuild on my old car. So, but think about that. And if you don't know, guess on the high end. If it's $100 a month, you'll save $1,200 a year for maintenance. But, just give it a good estimate. Okay, now, the next thing that you're going to be calculating are your fuel costs. Decide about how many miles that you drive a year. If you don't know, use 10,000. If you live in town and you're just commuting back and forth to work every day, you're probably in the 10,000 range. If your girlfriend is in Charlotte and you're like back and forth going there, or if you do a long commute, Lenore to Boone every single day, or Charlotte, you may have 15 or 20,000 miles. The year that I lived in Raleigh and was working on my PhD and drove to Lenore every single week back and forth, I had 30,000 miles a year. It was awful. I also totaled 3 cars. But, so let's just go with 10,000 miles. So if we had 10,000 miles, and then you're going to divide that by your car's fuel mileage. So if we had a car that got 38 highway and 30 city, and you're like, I drive about the same number of highway miles as city, then average the mileage and say it's about 34. So I would divide that by 34 miles per gallon. So we have the 10,000 miles, and you'll divide that by the 34 miles per gallon, and then you're going to multiply it by how much gas is. So last week, or actually first of this week, gas was $3.09. Who knows? If you go to Walmart in Granite, it's probably $2.99. If you're buying gas in Boone, it could be $3.29. I don't know. But then multiply by the price of a gallon of gas. And what this will give us is how much that you spend on gas every year. So 10,000 miles divided by 34 miles per gallon, don't round it off, multiplied by $3.09. That would give us $908.82. So we will just call that 909. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, and it will be different for every single person and for every single car. Depends on how many miles you drive, the mileage of the car that you're buying, and then how much gas is. Okay, which brings us down to taxes. And I put Caldwell, Catawba, but it's wherever you live. And the first thing that you have to know is the asking price of your car. So if we were buying a car and it was $19,998, okay, then you're going to divide that by 100, and that would give you 199.8. And that's the number of hundreds of the price of your car, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But then we have to go back and multiply that by the tax rate. Okay, here it gets a little bit squirrely. Go into your links, and I have Caldwell County taxes here. I've got Watauga, Catawba, Alexander, and Mecklenburg. You can pick wherever you live. Just for fun, I'm going to show you a couple of these. Okay, so I'm going to go to Caldwell County. I hope. Okay, here we go. Caldwell County tax rates. So there's a basic tax rate of 0.63. Okay, in addition to that, if you happen to live in the city of Lenoir, you add an additional 0.58. If you live in Hudson, you add an additional 0.43. I live in Cages Mountain, so it's none. I also don't get trash pickup, but hey, that's okay. So you would add the basic county rate, the 0.63, plus any city rate that you would have. So let's just say somebody lives in Lenoir. So I would take 0.63 plus 0.58. Okay. We got a lot going on. Okay. Okay. So 0.63 county plus 0.58 city is 1.21. So I'm going to multiply 1998 times 1.21. And you could have done this all at one time. 19,998 divided by 100 equals times 1.21. So you'd pay $241.97. Let's call that $242. So that would be our taxes per year. And you do that for wherever you live. Maybe we've got time we can look at the Watauga County also, because I know a lot of you live in Watauga County. So Watauga County's basic tax rate this year is 0.318. It actually went down from last year. So 0.318, and then you would add an additional 0.36 if you live in Boone. Only 0.05 if you live in Fosco. My mom was from Cove Creek. It'd be 0.05. But you add a little bit depending on where you live. And so then you would multiply that in our project. And I think I lost that. Okay, here we are. Okay. Finally, you get down here to the bottom and you will take your monthly payment that you calculated on the first page. It could be $350 or whatever, but you take whatever your monthly payment is and multiply it by 12. Then in addition, we're going to add all of our other expenses. You'll add your insurance, the DMV fee, your maintenance fee. I don't think I wrote maintenance on here. You'll add your fuel. And your taxes. So that will be how much you spend each year. And then I want to know how much you spend over the grand total of the entire car project. So you'll start out and you'll have this grand total here for your yearly expenses. If you're doing a 3-year loan, you'll multiply it by 3. If you're doing a 4-year loan, 4, 5-year loan, 5, but you'll do like 5 times your yearly expenses, because let's say your yearly expenses are $3,500. Then you would take $3,500 and multiply it by 3 or 4 or 5 years. Then also go back and add in your down payment. So all of your yearly expenses plus your down payment, and that will give you your grand total for the entire length of your loan. Okay, so after that happens, I want you to come down here and figure out how many hours a week that you would need to work in order to pay your car expenses. Okay, so start out and you will divide your car expenses by 12. That's 1 year. 1 year of your car expenses, and we'll multiply that by 12. Okay, I'm going to stop just a second and get us an example that we can work on. Okay, so let's suppose I have 12 monthly payments of $325, and then my insurance was $908. I spent $1,000 on maintenance, another $1,200 on gas, $285 on taxes. Okay, so that gives me a total of $72.93. Okay, so when you come down here, you're going to take the $72.93 and you're going to divide that by 12. And you're dividing it by 12 to get how much you would spend each month. So divided by 12. So divided by 12, it's $607.75. Let's just call it $608. Okay, so that means that every month you need $608 to keep your car on the road. For your car payment, for your gas, for your taxes, for your insurance, everything is $608. Okay, so what if you make $7.25 an hour? You got just like some little part-time job at Tweetsy or something. So you'll do 608, and we're going to divide that by 725. Okay, so 608 divided by 725. This is going to give you how many hours a week or how many hours that month you need to work. So you would work 83.8 hours. Nobody pays you for half an hour. So we would say that you would be working 84 hours. That's a lot. That's like working 2 full weeks just on your car. So if you made $10 an hour, then we would take the 608 and divide it by 10. Which would give you 6.8 hours or 61 hours. Okay, if we're working for $12 an hour. Can't do that one in my head. Let's see, 608 divided by 12. 51 hours. So it's getting a little more reasonable. And if you want to, you could add another one in there for like what you make. I obviously made this worksheet pre-COVID before hourly wages went up a lot. So you may even put like $15, $18, however much you think you can make an hour. And then decide, is this a reasonable car for you? You know, are you working 30 hours a month to pay for this car? Or are you having to work $84 or 84 hours a week to afford the car? So is it reasonable? You know, let me know. And then let me know what you learned from the project. And you can also add anything like, how should I fix this project? Is there anything that you think I left out as far as stuff that you would have to pay for your car? Do we need to start including, I don't know. But anyway, if you have suggestions, let me know. I hope you like this project, and I hope that you learn a lot from it. So good luck, and let me know if there is anything at all that I can help you with. Okay.